Hello, welcome back to those of you who were here earlier. As you can see, it has turned to the evening and 7:30 p.m. here now. Hi everyone, hi Megan, hi Eliana, Mary Louise, Deborah, Pam, Alison, Lisa, Amy, Susan, Tracy. So good to see you guys again. Samara back again, Marhona, Caroline, so good to see you guys. Jan, welcome again. So if you are joining us for this session, we did a session earlier. Oh, Tracy, it's 5:30 a.m. It's 7:30 p.m. and it's also wine o'clock. I've been fasting for Ramadan, actually. Not many people know this, but I've been fasting for Ramadan. So we don't, it's a Muslim thing here in Egypt. I'm not Muslim, but I just thought I would do it. So from like around 3:30 in the morning until around 6:30 at night here, you don't have any food and drink all day, and then you just go to town after like 6:30. So yeah, it's wine o'clock. You're not really supposed to drink wine either, but I never follow the rules. Hannah says fasting is awesome. Yeah, I love fasting. Actually, it's been a really good experience this year. I fasted the first 2 years I moved to Egypt, like when I was 24 years old. I fasted in Luxor when I first moved here, and it was great. But back then there was only like me. There was nothing else to think about really, and I had this job in like this air-conditioned office, which was great, and they brought you food like directly on the time you could eat. It was in like a big 5-star hotel. So for me, that was pretty sweet. This time around, however, I have 3 kids, a dog, a cat, a business, and it's proving a little bit harder than it was the last time. But, you know, thank the heavens for wine, because that helps you get through. 7:30 as well for Marihona. She has tea. That's a far more sensible option, obviously. So it's good to see so many of you guys here. Hi, Selena, and anyone else coming in. So again, just introduce yourself. Let us know where you are. Just been, as this workshop is all about COVID, just been looking at the latest figures that have just come in. Just seeing where we are, guys. I know it's a little bit depressing, but UK today, 5,614 cases and 539 deaths. Not the worst day ever, but certainly not the best. Where are we in the USA? 7,967 cases in the USA today and 777 deaths, all the sevens. Spain, again, 3,173 cases, 213 deaths. Italy, 1,401 cases, 274 deaths. It's really shocking. But again, it's like, as a lot of the world leaders are saying, we have to learn to live with this as much as we have to learn to die with it. So, so who have we got? We've got Stephanie from Pam from Baltimore. We've got Linda of Montreal. We've got Deborah in Detroit, Joni in San Diego, Marihona in the Netherlands, Stephanie from Washington, D.C., Samara. Oh, you're in London, Samara. Lovely. Megan in Wisconsin, Lisa in Wyoming, Laron in San Francisco, Anna, welcome back from Cote d'Ivoire, Hannah from Guatemala, La Antigua. We've got Tracy from New Zealand, Tracy the Trooper. It must be so late over there right now. Rose in Pennsylvania, Mary Louise from Orkney, Scotland. Yeah, Pam says it's really hard to hear those numbers. They lost 2 family members to the virus. I know, it's shocking. I was also heard a couple of days ago about a friend. I lost a friend in Luxor, actually, here in Egypt. So it was an English lady, but that was really sad. Eliana in Italy. I have a dog called Bella. Jan, Oklahoma. Okay, guys. So yeah, shocking figures. Such sadness to those who have lost people to this horrible disease. But you know, let's just try and focus on some positives today. And I do see these as positives because I think certainly in terms of business, people are innovating more where they wouldn't have before. It's like being forced into not necessarily just making changes for the sake of it, but is being forced into some areas where you're improving, expanding, thinking outside of the box. Pam says exactly, there's always hope. We need to focus on that, definitely. I'm not saying that we shouldn't grieve for the people that we've lost, or we shouldn't feel sad about the situation, but the fact is it's happening, we're in it, and there's nothing we can do about it right now other than what we're being told by the government and what we can do in our own little units, in our own communities, that type of thing. So that tends to be what I'm focusing on. So for those of you who weren't here earlier, we did a session at 4:30 this afternoon my time, just a few hours ago, and that has now been uploaded. So if you didn't catch that session, you can watch the replay on the page. I can put the link in there for you right now if you don't have that. So it's up on that page, and also I have added the presentation on there, so you will see the presentation, so you'll have all the notes from that session as well. So next part of this free workshop is all about learning to work in COVID-19. It's about learning how to adapt. It's kind of a fun session because it's talking about creativity and ideas. And that's kind of what I like to do. And obviously, if you guys want to contribute anything to this, you know, if you've heard about things that you know that are relevant, you want to share, you know, I'm totally open for you to giving your opinions, ideas, anything like that. You're more than welcome to contribute. Okay, so this will be the last session for today. Then tomorrow we'll have 2 more sessions, one at 4:30 my time, again, which was the same time as earlier, and again another session happening at 7:30 p.m. this time. Okay, I think we're all ready to go. I'm going to dive into screen share now. Why my dog tries to escape behind me. There's no escape. Okay. Okay. Sharing screen now. So guys, as soon as you can see the screen, do let me know. So just let me know in the chat so I know that everything is okay. Yep. Okay, cool. It's funny, a lot of people have been talking to me or asking me about how you communicate to people, like the benefits of going online and working from home and working remotely and things like that. And they always expect me to come up with like profound things to say. Sometimes I do, but not often. And I was just thinking to myself as I was, you know, pouring myself a glass of wine to come and sit and do this session. My mum would be horrified, by the way. She'd be like, oh my God, Michelle, what are you doing drinking on the job? But that's one of the benefits. That is one of the perks. You can have a nice glass of wine while you sit down in front of your computer and crank out some work. So yeah, so I have no problem with that. So I hope you guys got a drink and you're ready to go. So session 2 is how to prepare for working in COVID-19. So I'm going to share with you, first of all, some systems, because I feel like it's important to pay attention to technology, whether you are a virtual assistant or a freelancer or whatever you want to call yourself. I have no preference, online business manager, consultant, whatever. Whether you are somebody doing that, or whether you are somebody looking to make a transition to potentially going more online in order to kind of adapt your existing business to this new way of working, then we have to pay attention to technology, even more so than ever before. So I've just made a list of some basic systems that you could potentially need, use, want to look into. We're just going to go through these. And also I will post the links to all these systems with the video replay inside the section where we're posting the replays and things like that. So don't worry about the links and stuff. I will post all the links in there, and also there will be some links with discount prices and all kinds of things like that. So, and some will be affiliate links like I mentioned earlier, but they will also sometimes have a discount applied to them as well. So it's worth checking out the links just in case there is an opportunity to get something a little bit cheaper if you're interested in any of the systems. Now, I'm suggesting some systems to you because I think they're easy to use. They're not too difficult to grasp, and they're kind of very friendly in terms of being able to work online. But obviously you don't have to restrict yourself to these systems. You can use pretty much any systems you like, but I'm just going to go through the basics, which aren't very much different to working outside of COVID-19, but they might be to you if you are not used to this or not used to working online. So the first thing, obviously, is if you want to set up a service where you're going to be working online with your customers or with your clients, then I would suggest some basic training for setting up that business, because there's all kinds of things you need to factor in if you're starting out, like how you're going to work with the client online, how you're going to take payments, how you're going to invoice, how you're going to collaborate, that type of thing. So there's a lot of things, a lot of factors to consider when you're going to start providing services online or working with clients and customers online. So if you, for example, are going into more of a freelance kind of role where you're going to be servicing people, then you might want to consider my program, The Freelancer, which is a basic kind of get started, all-encompassing program to start a VA business or an online service business, not necessarily a virtual assistant, just anybody who provides a service online. It could be a niche, it could be general, it could be anything. It's just going to give you the tools and the insights and the information of how to set yourself up there. You don't have to necessarily take that training. There are many other people who do very similar trainings out there to kind of get started. This is just my way of starting, but other people have their own ways, and there's many good VAs out there doing different training. But I will say that the UK Society of Virtual Assistants is somewhere I'm an approved trainer. And in last year's survey that they did, when they surveyed all the people in their community as part of their organization, their members, I did come out on top as having, amongst those people, they were the highest earners, the people who had taken my training, and they had the largest volume of clients as well. So just when you're looking at taking any training, ask questions to people, like question their abilities, their experience, that type of thing, just to make sure you're investing in a good solid course in that direction. So Susan says The Freelancer is a great training program to get started. It's so helpful and runs you through all the steps in order to move ahead quickly. Thank you so much. Jan says LinkedIn are offering courses. I know lots of places right now, like kind of doing promotions and discounts and courses. So just find a really basic course that helps you get set up. The Freelancer course, my course is £97, so it's not a huge investment. It's not going to break the bank. But it's just going to help you get started. But there are many other courses that you can take, and like I say, you can go and look on places like Udemy and other online learning channels as well, Teachable, I think, and just see if you can find something to help you set up a freelance business, because it will be a great investment. It'll save you a lot of time. Then obviously you need a website. So we offer, in terms of getting a website, there is a system called CARD, C-A-R-R-D, which is a really simple system that will help you build a really basic website. Now, I have a workshop that teaches you how to use CARD to build a website. Really quick, really simple. You're able to follow the instructions and go through. So I'll put a link to that workshop there. I call it a boutique website. So you can have a link to the boutique website program if you're interested in checking that out. But also we provide a service for building boutique websites as well. So we've discounted that service. If you want to just outsource having a website made, we can do that. You can come to us and we can do that for you. We'll do a quick turnaround. And also during these times as well, we're offering payment plans. So if you don't want to pay up front, it's only a few £100. But if you want to pay up front, then you can spread the cost out across. So don't feel like, oh my God, I don't have a website right now, because one of the most daunting things when you're setting up online or when you're getting started is like the idea that you're going to have to build this website and it's going to be a huge investment of time and money and it's going to be a headache and you don't know what to do and things like that. It doesn't have to be that way. Also, there are many people here in this room that build boutique websites as well. Megan is one of them. Megan Dixon here. And I think there are several other people here. I think Caroline as well, she's doing boutique websites. So if you do build websites and you want to share your information with anyone, feel free to do that as well in the chat. But you're going to need a website. You're going to need a website to work online. Okay, the next thing, a lot of people say, oh, you can start off with a Facebook page and things like that. But I don't think it's quite as... I don't think it's quite as solid as having a website. I think people like to go to a website to remove all the noise of everything else that's going on in Facebook. When you're in Facebook and you're on a Facebook page, it's too noisy. It's like there's too many distractions, there's too many links, there's too many ads, there's too many, you know, for sure, if you absolutely can only do that right now, then do it. It's better than nothing. But when people say, oh, well, just set up a Facebook page, I don't support that as a long-term solution for your business. I think you should have something that's focused, that people can just see your stuff, your bio, your services, your contact information without everything else. Megan agrees. Yeah, and she's put her contact information in there. If you also want to contact us about anything, about website builds or anything, I'll put my email in there as well. Maya Hono, if you want to put your email in there as well, that's absolutely fine, or your website, or whatever. Karen says, I've literally just hit live on my website today after 5 years as a VA. Karen, I won't say anything. I'm not saying anything. Okay, 5 years. Okay. So website, obviously you're going to need a website. Next thing is video calls. As you can see, we're all sat here chatting amongst ourselves on Zoom. I think Zoom have probably had the biggest record rise, God knows what, in calls that they've ever had since COVID-19. I am constantly on these freaking Zoom calls. Zoom. It's like, does anyone use Skype anymore? No, Zoom. Like, Zoom is the thing. I was on a Zoom call earlier today. I was on a Zoom call yesterday. I'm Zooming around all over the place. So I recommend for a video call Zoom. The reason I do this is because really it's a little bit boring now because we've been on so many, but it works. It works really, really well. And it's a fairly good cost as well. It's fairly low cost. So what plan do I have? I have the upgrade. I think it's the Pro version. But it's like the first upgrade. Jan says, why is Skype not good? Do you know, Skype used to be, this is my opinion anyway, and anyone else can chime in and share, but Skype used to be really good. It used to be my absolute go-to system until Microsoft purchased it. And then it just took a massive nosedive and just became terrible. The connectivity, the lag time, you know, messages just sitting there, like not going through, video calls just not working properly. For me, after Microsoft took over it, it just became a really, it became a system that I was like, I would only use like if I absolutely had to, particularly for video calls. Megan says technical issues, slow connectivity, runs heavy on your RAM, making your computer slow. Yep, that's another good point. Jan says, I was afraid that would be your answer. Don't be afraid, darling. There's always alternative solutions. Connectivity is a pain, Hannah said. Yes, all you say, Michelle, we Skype. Yeah, so we're all having a pretty similar experience with Skype. It's not our favorite. Michelle says Skype is horrible. Agree, but Zoom has so many security issues. Yeah, our company is Crm. This is true, but they did a lot recently. I don't know whether you saw the updates in Zoom, but they've done a lot to improve the security of Zoom. So I'm hoping that that will carry through and make the whole experience a little bit more secure and a little bit better. Megan says yes to that as well. And they've sent many emails on how to make meetings more secure. Yes, they have. They're really actively working towards making sure that their users are feeling as secure as possible and doing what they can as well. So kudos, yeah, kudos to Zoom. They're doing a pretty good job. Michelle says we're still searching for another tool, but there's almost nothing comparable to Zoom. Absolutely. I've also done a lot of searching around myself. And it's really, really hard to find something that's just like so easy, quite reasonably priced, everything like that. Megan says, for example, use a unique link for each meeting or requiring registration to avoid bots for attempting several URL combinations. That's good. Yeah. The registration is fine. The pages aren't, you know, they're a little bit customizable. They're not like amazing, but it's just something, isn't it? Megan says, I've not been able to find something that has all the necessary features that Zoom has. Absolutely. It's true. Jan says, hoping Amazon AWS come out with something. They might do one day. I was using their Amazon hosting for ages, and then I just got a little bit upset with the support actually. But yeah, they might do. Google has made a huge jump to their calls are pretty good. Okay, Google calls, yeah. Funny enough, like some things in Google, they just really take off, and then other things, they just kind of sit there and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it's still going. Hannah says she wants to try Google again. Okay, guys, well, absolutely. Try whatever the most important thing for me is that you try something and you find something that you're comfortable with, and then you run with that. I love G Suite, big G Suite fan. Absolutely could not live my life without G Suite. But Hannah likes Zoom. Yeah, I like Zoom too. And I'm of the mindset really sometimes if it isn't broke, don't fix it. So I recommend Zoom, obviously, but you can use anything else that you want to. Next thing is webinar software. So with webinars, you know, if you've got an offline business, then it kind of can be a little bit hard to grasp the thing about webinars, about talking to people through the computer or talking at people through a computer. But if you're going to start building an audience online, building a community online, and starting to kind of go more into subscriber lists and sharing content online and interacting with people online, I do think that having a really good webinar software is a good idea. And my webinar software choice is Crowdcast. I used Webinar Jam for the longest time, but then they changed and made their upgrades, and then it didn't really work properly. I was living in Crete at the time, in Greece, on this little island, and the internet wasn't good enough, so I kind of abandoned it to Crowdcast, and that works really well. Jan says, what about Zoom for webinars? I have actually considered shifting to Zoom for webinars. I think though, since I'm using Zoom so much, I kind of just got a little bit like bored of Zoom. But yeah, I mean, I do want to try Zoom webinars. I absolutely would do that. I've never hosted a webinar on Zoom. I've only done it on Crowdcast recently, before that Webinar Jam. So yeah, it might be worth checking out. Megan says, have you considered Zoom add-on webinar feature or tested it? Yeah, no, I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, I've actually got Zoom webinars available. Oh, Megan says she's attended Zoom webinars and they're pretty good. Are they very similar to the Zoom calls? Does it look very similar? Megan. Yeah, but nicer features for presenting. Okay. Well, definitely check that out. Eliana, yeah, but you decide who is active and who is passive audience. Okay. That's an interesting feature. I don't think they have that in Crowdcast. Anyway, and also I look at the aesthetics of a system and things like that, the usability, that type of thing. My dog's trying to escape again. Okay, so then we go into, Pam says, yes, they're good. Another ed support site, and I'm with, uses them for all of their webinars. Okay. And you get more participants than 500 in Zoom video conference. Yeah, the participants thing is good to have those extra capacity. Okay, so moving on, because I want to get through all this. Okay, so webinar software, then forms software. Forms are now playing a huge part in working online and transitioning to working online. Because the reason being is like, we're going to talk about the ideas in a second, but I've had a lot of people, or I've seen a lot of people, what they're doing, if they have shops or stores, and usually that person would come in for a consultation, like let's say, for example, like a personal shopper consultation, where somebody has, like they want to go in and they would normally talk to the person and say, okay, what size are you? And, you know, what colors do you prefer? And I think you should do this and stuff like that. They're now doing it online through forms. And then they're actually personal shopping for that person in the store still, their little store. And then they're presenting ideas to the person and buying online and delivering. But loads of people are using forms now where they would normally be consulting with people in person. So I recommend Typeform. You get 10 questions free. You could also use Google Forms, which is free. But Typeform, I think, looks nicer. I don't really like how Google Forms look. I think they're a little bit basic looking and not aesthetically pleasing, but Typeform has a really nice aesthetically pleasing look. So that's for forms. Then payment gateways, obviously, if we're taking credit cards offline or something like that right now, we need to be looking at payment gateways. I recommend Stripe. I think Stripe is really, really good. Also, PayPal is kind of like the universal one that everyone uses. There are other payment gateways out there and retail things and stuff, but those are the two that I would say stick with. I don't want to give you a big long exhaustive list of everything. I just want to give you the key ones that I say, well, I would definitely use and I would definitely recommend. Megan says avoid PayPal, especially for digital service and products. I have to say I agree. I've had several very bad experiences with PayPal. But there are also people where PayPal is the only option in certain countries to be able to do it. So it's really like swings and roundabouts. I personally wouldn't recommend PayPal, but I know that if there are many, many countries where Stripe isn't available, or some other payment gateways are not available, and generally PayPal is pretty much available anywhere. So not something I would recommend, but definitely if you have absolute no alternative, I think something is better than nothing, just to get you started, with the hopes that somebody will jump on the bandwagon and make a more universal payment processor that's easy to use. You know, there's things like 2Checkout and stuff like that, which, you know, a lot of people advocate and say it's really good. I find it really tedious, just the process and everything. Megan says there's a nice payment gateway that integrates with Xero called Pinch Payments from Australia. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that, Megan. She has an account with there. We'll also look at the next one. Actually is banking. So for me, online banking is so super important. So I have like a Revolut account. So if you don't have Revolut, or a bank account with Revolut, it's an online bank account. People or clients can pay you into your Revolut card. It's even easier if they have a Revolut card. And TransferWise as well is another really great one, particularly for cross-currency transfers. Does Stripe integrate with TransferWise? No, not that I'm aware of right now, Hannah. But they're changing all the time. But I don't think they do it right now. But you can use TransferWise to pay with cards in certain areas, or withdraw from banks in certain places or certain accounts. So it has a lot of features available, and maybe there could be a workaround or something if it doesn't work with Stripe. Yeah, so definitely I recommend Revolut and TransferWise for online banks. Then appointments. So a lot of people now are going to be shifting from the traditional method of seeing people face to face for appointments into doing online bookings. And a really nice way to automate that is through an online booking system. I like Calendly. I think it's great. There's a free version for a one type of appointment, so you can use that, or you can upgrade and have several different types of appointments. But really, you just need something simple and basic to get you started. So if you're going to be still meeting with clients online, either through Zoom or something like that, or a Skype or anything, then you can use an online appointment booking system. So you can give that to your clients and then say book an appointment through that. So you could be doing your therapy sessions with them or your consultations with them through an online booking system and then showing up for the appointment. Then you might need a CMS, content management system. A content management system is a little bit like somewhere where you have your website, but you have a lot of other things with it, like email marketing, membership sites, members areas. I'm currently in the process, as we speak, of shifting and rebranding from Adobe Business Catalyst, where I have my current website and members area, into Podia. Podia is a content management system which is really geared up towards members areas and digital product sales, landing pages, opt-in pages, that type of thing. That's definitely where I want to be heading. I have to transition out of Adobe Business Catalyst because next year they're closing down. So I have chosen Podia as my new content management system. So in the coming months, you will see a brand new website from me, and it will be a website that I've put together in Podia with my team. Stephanie says Calendly is awesome and saves you so much time. Yeah, it's so nice, particularly with time zones. You know, just give people a link and just say, you know, book in there, because it'll come up in their time zone. You can block out your time if you don't want to work weekends or evenings or whatever. So yeah, Calendly is awesome. Definitely agree, Stephanie. So we've got the content management system. Then there is e-commerce. So for those of you, we talked about this on the One Sourcing call the other day. Like if you're transitioning from like a little boutique store into a shop online, then I think Shopify is one of the best ones for that. I don't actually use Shopify in terms of building a site in Shopify. I've been in there, I've done a few bits and pieces with clients inside Shopify, so I kind of know my way around the back end, but I never built a shop from scratch. But there are many VAs out there who can build shops in Shopify. If you're somebody who does shops in Shopify, let me know, or leave a message in the chat. But if you want to start putting your goods online, then definitely Shopify is a good one for that. And if anyone else can recommend any other e-commerce softwares which are geared up towards shopping carts or selling your wares, then do please leave that in the chat. I'd love to hear what you guys use. Then there's email marketing. So for example, I use ConvertKit right now, but my intention is to shift out of ConvertKit into Podia once I've moved my site. So right now I'm in ConvertKit. I love ConvertKit. It's the best email marketing system, in my opinion, out there right now. That's why I use it. That's why I love it. But there is a built-in email marketing system inside Podia. So this is more if you want just a standalone email marketing system. I recommend ConvertKit for that. It's not the cheapest, but it's also really super reliable. I've never had any problems to date with it. I know other people who have reported problems with it, but for me it's been working okay. And it's also the one I think that Pat Flynn uses, you know, Smart Passive Income Pat Flynn. Okay, so that's email marketing. Then you're going to need an email marketing system. Is basically something that you send emails out in and you get subscribers to subscribe to you, because the new way of working is not getting people to come into your shop, or come into your center or come into your office, whatever. It's about getting people to come into your kind of mailing list. That should be like the end goal, really, in terms of call to action and things like that. Then there is the CRM system. So CRM is short for Customer Relationships Management, and I currently use Capsule CRM, but I will be shifting into Podia because that is one of the things that Podia offers as part of their content management system. So if you want a standalone customer relationships management system, I recommend Capsule. But again, if you're using content management system like Podia, you probably won't need a separate system for that. And then customer support is just Zendesk. I love Zendesk. I've been using Zendesk for many years. It's not cheap anymore. It used to be really, really cheap, but it's not cheap anymore. There are some cheaper alternatives out there, but not really that much cheaper. I think Help Scout is a pretty good one. I think there's another one called Freshdesk that people use. But for me, Zendesk, I like it, and I wouldn't really shift out of it right now. But so those are kind of like the basic core softwares and the basic core technology that you would potentially need to completely operate your business online. It's not an exhaustive list really when you think about it. Those are all the tools that you're going to need. You might not need all of them, but you will definitely need some of them, if not all of them. Jan says ConvertKit does not have CRM, also why a standalone from email? Okay, so the way the business works right now is I have a content management system, and the content management system had email marketing built in, but it was really expensive to send the emails. So I converted out of there to ConvertKit to save money, basically. So that's what I did, and I ended up really liking it a lot more. ConvertKit does not have a CRM, it's an email marketing system, but my CRM is integrated into my customer support desk. So it actually is integrated with Capsule CRM into my customer support desk. But when I move, I'll be in Podia for my email marketing, my CRM, and obviously Ecommerce and members areas and things like that. But those two systems, when I move to Podia, ConvertKit and Capsule CRM will no longer be, I will no longer be using them once I transition fully. Megan says Happy Fox is another one. She started with Happy Fox. Any product management suggestions? Jan, can you elaborate on that? Do you mean like e-commerce, or do you mean like digital products? Oh, project, like Asana. Do you mean project management systems? Hannah says, is Podia suitable for medical aesthetic industries? Yeah, I'm sure it is. It depends on if there's any kind of like security issues or restrictions, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. It's really more geared towards digital products, like members areas, digital downloads, anything like that. But you can pretty much use it for any kind of salesy thing. Yeah, check it out. It's actually quite good. Okay, yeah, so Jan, I use Active Collab as my project management space. I know a lot of people who use Trello, which I think is a free one. I do know people who use Asana. I think there's one called Teamwork. Megan says she also has a course in email management called the Email Rockstar. You can put the link in there, Megan, if you want to. Yep, cool. So I'm going to move on from systems because we've only got 20 minutes left, and I want to shift onto something a little bit more exciting, because let's be honest, it's not that exciting, is it, talking about technology? It's got to be done, but you know, it's like one of those things that you just want to get over with and move on. Some people love it. I'm more of a creative person. So I tend to like to hire other people to do the techie stuff for me, and I like to talk about creation. So paying attention to creativity and new ideas. This has been the one thing for me that's really kind of kept me busy during this time. It's just looking at everything. Okay, bye Karen, go for dinner. It's just basically looking at everything and thinking to yourself, like, how can we make this work? How can we make this better? What can we do? So I went and did just a search. You know, I started seeing things come up on the news about what people were doing. I was interacting, talking with people on groups, seeing what they were doing with their businesses, and just seeing what I could do to help share that with other people, to give people ideas of how to move forward, because it's our jobs as VAs and working online to kind of have an idea of what's possible, and then try and help the client to see what's possible for them. So it's been really an interesting experience for me. My home has a customer experience journey course. Yeah, please do share. If you teach anything, if you share anything, if you're an expert in anything, share it by all means in the chat. You know, we're a community here, and it's not just all about me. It's about you guys too. Okay, so we have to get creative in design and be flexible on price when approaching new potential clients and offering solutions. Some things that stand out to me are things people are doing now to either start, grow, or adapt their businesses or their personal lives. So all of which virtual support staff could be involved with, whether this be going through consulting, advising, or executing. So I'm going to go through some ideas now. So if you are a business owner completely unrelated to providing services, then have a think about how you can adapt these things to your business. And if you are a VA, think about how you could start adapting your clients, or who you could potentially be working with in the future around making these things happen for them. So here are some ideas to kind of just get you started off with things that potentially you could do. So these are just things that I've come up with or heard about on the, like I say, on the news or on the internet or anything like that. But mobile cinemas. So the traditional cinemas are obviously all closed right now. So what cinematography people are doing is, I heard about one guy, for example, like, sure, we have the drive-in cinemas. You remember the really old drive-in cinemas where everyone just sat in their cars? I'm sure there's many people. Yeah, Susan's running ahead. So like, those are obviously going to work around social distancing. And Manga says they still have them around. But also, I heard about a guy who converted a truck into a cinema, and he drives around neighborhoods playing movies to people, so people can watch from their homes and look outside the street. I'm not sure how that would go down if you didn't really want to watch the movie, but everyone had the sound really loud so they could hear it. And you know what I mean? And then you're stuck there listening to this movie that you don't want to watch. But yeah, it does sound like loads of fun. So yeah, it's really creative. So somebody has set up or is building an actual fleet of mobile cinemas, which go around to people's streets and cul-de-sacs and things like that, playing movies, and people can watch them from their homes or their gardens. So you can have people sit outside in the summer, I guess, and just kind of like chill out in their garden watching a movie all together. There's online music concerts. Me and Megan did one put together recently, just like a thing where she had a friend and he wanted to do a live concert, and I shared it with my audience and she shared it with hers, and it was just a live stream on Facebook. And there's been many people doing live streams. I've been watching one from my hometown where they're having different artists and people playing. So people need help with online event planning and live streaming concerts and musicians and things like that. And there's various different ways now that we can be attending concerts online instead of the traditional, like, going to see people in person. Absolutely not the same in any way, shape or form whatsoever, but it's something at least. Online ordering services. So I've heard now about people, particularly this works like great for like elderly people as well, but people are calling other people up, FaceTiming them. The people who don't like ordering online shopping, find it tedious, don't really want to go out. You FaceTime, you tell the person what you want, you show them like what's in your cupboard. I want this one, I want this brand. And then they take the shopping list, they do the online shopping order for you and get it delivered to your home, which I thought was good, because a lot of people, you say to people, oh, they don't need help with that, you know, because they can just order it online themselves. But actually, there are many people who don't want to do that. They're just not interested, and they would rather just sit and tell someone, I want that, show someone, and then that person go out and get it. So people are doing FaceTiming for online ordering services. Keynote speakers, not doing it in person anymore. They're transferring online to online whiteboards, screen sharing presentations. Obviously, some of these are kind of like a given. They've been done before, but some of them haven't. So online shops, a lot of people are moving their wares from their physical shop, taking photos, putting it online. We talked about that with the Shopify thing, going e-commerce, starting to make sales, doing deliveries, shipping, couriers, that type of thing. Online education, digital programs and courses is going through the roof right now. Everyone's looking to learn online. There's a lot of children's education stuff that's coming out. People like teaching people arts, music, all sorts of things. from their kitchen. So online education is a big thing. And if you do have an offline job or something like that, or a traditional offline job, you know, you might want to start thinking to yourself, how can I share this with people now? How can I teach people how to do it? If I can't do it myself for them, how can I teach people how to do it? And they will pay you to learn. Although there's a lot of free stuff out there right now, a lot of times people want to pay to learn, to be in a nice members area, to not take the free option. Fundraising and non-profit projects are going through the roof right now, but it's fantastic because these things are being shared everywhere. So it's great for free stuff because it increases the publicity. If you're doing like a charity event, an organization, a project for a non-profit, supporting other people, there's loads of people making meals for poor people and homeless people right now, and the exposure that they're getting is huge. So maybe you can talk to a client or think yourself about how you could do something like that yourself. Non-physical therapists. When I talk about non-physical therapists, I'm talking about people who just like do like psychologists, psychiatrists, anybody who just uses therapy as a way through talking with people. They can take it online. They can start doing online coaching consulting. It's not the same, but it works. The quick and easy beginner courses for self-sufficiency. So if you've got somebody, if you yourself or a client wants to start building their audience on YouTube, building their audience on other social media platforms because their offline audience is no longer there, then a really good way to do that is just start with quick and easy videos, tutorials, how to do things. Loads of people now are searching on YouTube online. How do I do this? How do I put a picture up? Because nobody's ever had to do it before themselves. They just call someone out. So a lot of people searching in the self DIY areas, and anybody who can make videos can really stretch that a bit further as well. Then there's building subscriber lists. I think people can actually just make a job right now out of just building subscriber lists and audience building and things like that, particularly online, because although we've been doing it for years and years, a lot of the offline people still, some of them like don't even have a subscribe box. Like, where have you been? So now it's just the time to start introducing subscriber lists, email marketing, growing client bases online rather than offline. There's online gift product or item finding. So this is, again, is like a personal shopper, but online. You can fill out a form, what you need. People can source it online for you, go searching on Amazon, present options to you. You know, like if we're looking at the type 1 client right now, you know, who is busy all day, homeschooling, got these, you know, on the front line, working all hours, but they still kind of want to function like a human being and get somebody a birthday present or something like that, then that's a great service for them. Virtual book clubs, where people are doing the virtual book club for free. Bookshops are doing this now, actually, and then that's leading into like paid writing classes, something like that. So there's a little like upsell during offering something for free. Loads of people are doing partnering and cross-promoting with other businesses. So home decor business teamed with a florist, so you know, like a home decor, like furnishings place, teamed with a florist, and where for every normally delivered order, so like let's say for example a customer will order a sofa and a sideboard, they will deliver a bouquet of flowers from this florist with that order. So the florist gets the exposure from a potential client or a target market client who is interested in investing in their home, making it look nice. So they're getting the florist, and then they're getting a bunch of flowers, and then they might order from the florist again. So it's just kind of like, you know, like cross promoting or helping each other or finding other partners that fit really well. If you're in kind of like the beauty industry and you focus on one area of beauty, then you might want to also partner with somebody else who focuses on a different area of beauty and just kind of cross that over somewhere. Matchmaking services, helping people find the right online services for finding tutors for children, special food products, people to look after things for you, people to go and do shopping, people to go and pick things up from the pharmacy. There's, you know, concierge services and things like that who are doing that. But a lot of the times, if people are a bit not technically minded, a bit of a technophobe, not really used the internet before, anything like that, you know, to have someone that they can call or email or WhatsApp or something like that, just saying, I need this, but I don't know how to acquire it, where to find it, who to get it from. You know, you could be one of those people that helps them with that. Online story time for kids. There's loads of people doing online story time and then upselling other activities from there of things that they could do with kids at home, on Zoom calls and things like that. And then there's group challenges for fitness, accountability groups, and live sessions. And then those people are doing those group fitness challenges, also selling and promoting their fitness classes and other things like that. There has also been digital rescheduling services for people. This was a really cool one, I thought. So obviously there's been a lot of weddings, christenings, parties, events, a lot of things being cancelled right now. So people have got to notify like 200 people it's cancelled, obviously, and you know, we're rescheduling, we're doing this. So for anybody who's having to make those drastic changes to events coming up during these next months, years, who knows, then the rescheduling service you could do, it's like I saw somebody was creating like a nice PDF saying that we've had to cancel our party and putting all the information of when they're rescheduling or when they're intending to do it again. You know, so it's good to have a service like that, I think. I think it's perfectly feasible to offer it. I've seen people out there doing it. I've seen some of the PDFs that people are creating in a system like Canva. Canva.com is like a design system online that you can create really simple but very elegant, beautiful looking graphics. Concierge services for elderly, like I say, doing the shopping, the pharmacy runs and things like that. Challenges online for the community to create exposure. So I saw like a home furnishing store could encourage people to take photos of their homes, like on their Facebook page or something like that, and say, okay, because everyone's in their home right now, obviously. And they will give like a free consultation to say, right, you know, like this is what we would do with a home. And then if you've got a soft furnishing store or something like that, then you could do a consultation and recommend, like, we've got this pillow that would really look nice on this sofa, or we've got this throw, or, you know, just to like say, well, would you be interested? So like you get people to do like a free consultation of their home furnishings or something like that. And then they can upsell their soft furnishings on top of that from looking at a photo. Then there's beauty kits. This is a really cool idea. So where beauticians usually have people come in and then they sell their products in the store, or like they use a nail polish and then someone says, oh, I'd like to buy that nail polish. They're now creating beauty kits. So they're putting everything in there to do manual, do DIY, manicures, pedicures, facials, that type of thing. And the other thing you do with that is create a free online video, for example, where you actually post that on YouTube to get people to watch that video and then sell the kit as well from there. So you've got your existing customers who you can contact and say, I do these beauty kits now. No, you can't come in for a mani-pedi right now or a facial, whatever, but I put together a kit that you can do at home. And there's a tutorial video online that you can watch, and people are doing that. Also meal kits, restaurants are doing meal kits as well, which is a really great idea. I saw this, like somebody, instead of making, like it's a pizza restaurant, and instead of making the pizza and cooking it and delivering it, somebody asked for the ingredients to be separated out and not cooked. So they started doing these meal kits. So there's ones for like pizzas and various other things where they put all the kit together and then they send it, and then that's something that a mum or dad can do with their kids at home. But also there's like drink mixes, there's drink mixing kits. So they send out the drink mix and you just add your own alcohol when you get that too. So, I mean, it's like for people who aren't familiar with, people who love to drink cocktails, but they're not familiar with making them, really can't be asked to figure it out. You know, they're going to order a drink mix kit. It would be the sensible thing to do. I would. Okay. And then there's the fashion designers who are pivoting. This is where pivoting, shifting and pivoting. So it's like, okay, well, I'm a fashion designer and I design party dresses. No one's buying a party dress right now because no one's going to any parties. So obviously you have to either say, I'm going to shut my shop, or I'm going to design something else, to start designing face masks instead of party dresses. Everyone's buying those right now. Loads of people have been doing that as well, you know, like making matching face masks with shirts and things like that. Stephanie says, I haven't gotten to this yet, but here's a free Canva course. Oh, cool. Thank you for sharing that, Stephanie. Megan says you can even do something like that, but leverage partners or affiliates. The most successful affiliate or referrals are based on the personal experience, definitely. So tutorial video can be a great way to show that, absolutely. We've got a little chat going on about MailChimp right there, and MailerLite, some recommendations. Cool. So that's that. And then our last little set here, hiring instruments. So music shops are now, instead of selling their instruments, they're hiring them out on loan. So people can start learning instruments in their home, but they can't actually afford to go buy the instrument. So they're hiring the instrument out like on a month-by-month basis, delivering it to the door. Which I thought was a really good idea. And then some people are also offering online lessons. So if you've got a music store and a bunch of instruments just sitting there doing nothing because no one's coming in to buy them, then you could potentially hire them out instead. And also they're doing this with gym equipment. So gyms completely shut down right now. So they're hiring out their mats. They're renting out their yoga bands, their weights, their kettlebells. You know, they're either dropping them off, or there is like a pickup point that people go to, and they're getting their gym equipment and things like that. So if you've got something that normally people would buy or use, and it's not being used right now and not being bought right now, then you could potentially have the option of renting it out. And if you're a VA, you can help the person facilitate all this and manage it all and coordinate it all as well. Are there any lightning suggestions for videos? To make videos, I use ScreenFlow. It's not the cheapest, but there are apps that you could use. Actually, there's a one quite good app that you can use to make screencasts. It's called Cloud App. I don't know if you have a Mac or Windows, but I have a Mac and I use Cloud App, which is quite good to make sure it screencasts videos. But I tend to use ScreenFlow. Or you could use Zoom and record it, do a screen share and use Zoom. And it's actually, I think that's free to do that too. So Sam says Loom. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, oh my gosh, so we only got a few minutes left. So renting out equipment, virtual real estate tours. People are doing videos now for real estate agencies, taking people through the homes. Obviously, social distancing has to be kept. Recruitment is, I think, a big one right now because there are so many people being laid off. How many millions of people are currently being laid off? It's a colossal amount. And those people, a lot of good people, even Airbnb, when they made their public statement, to their staff, they were saying to people like, we're so sad to lose you because somebody else is going to snap you right up, and we don't want to lose you, but we have to. So there's going to be an unprecedented variety of people out there, and there are businesses and companies still hiring. We're going to talk about those tomorrow. We're going to talk about the industries tomorrow that are still thriving during this time, to give you some ideas of where potential clients might be for you. There's virtual tours of stores and shops for products. So people are doing virtual tours of their products in their stores. They're going in, opening up, closing again, not opening up to the public, and then just showing people like what people want to buy. They're doing it live on live stream as well, so people can shop from their home and say, oh yeah, like show me that, I want to look at that type of thing. And then a personal shopper will take them around. So final thing for today, because I've only got a couple of minutes left, but I just want to talk finally about the roles. And we've talked so much about ideas now and what potential there is and how we could potentially help people transition their businesses, adapt their businesses. And all of these ideas can still utilize some of or all of the core one sourcing roles I teach. So I teach something called one sourcing, which is a role-based kind of way of providing services online to clients. And a lot of my programs and courses are centered around the roles, which is personal assistant, customer support representative, general administrator, social media assistant, content creator, content marketer, website master, website developer, and graphic designer. Now, if you're not familiar with those or any of those skills, you can take my workshops. So I have workshops that go into the strategy and the skills behind these roles. And I will add a discount link for you guys on the page, on the replay page. But also I really recommend, if you're looking for skills, learning skills, Danielle Greason's online biz skills course. A lot of people are very familiar with Danielle. She's a colleague of mine. I've known her for many years. We've done retreats. Susan has been to a retreat. Megan's been on a retreat with us. She's a really amazing person, and she's great at teaching online biz skills. So she also has a course for online biz skills. So if you're looking at this, like all these ideas and thinking, okay, well, Michelle, that's great, but like, how do I execute these? You know, it doesn't require a huge learning curve to get to the point where you can start piecing it together. And I am going to share with you some potential packages and things that you can offer that start with the basics tomorrow of how you can start sharing those with clients and getting clients on board for the changes. So that is that. Those are the roles that tend to be part of the general, you know, like the operations management of putting an online business together as well. So we've gone through the systems, we've gone through the ideas, and we've gone through the skills that you're going to need as well. So that's all in a nutshell, but there's lots of room to expand on that. So thank you very much for listening. I have gone a minute over. Really sorry about that, but thank you for staying with me, guys. So that's awesome. We have, my owner says, I offer all these roles if you do want to learn them. Do not want to learn them. Yes, a lot of VAs in the community here know how to do these skills. They offer these skills. So yeah, if you need help with anything, do reach out to each other. This is what we're all here for. Mary Louise says, thanks for the insights. You're welcome. Eliana, Michelle, and all attendees, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of this. Okay, so Jan says, awesome info. Okay, so tomorrow, quick recap before I say goodnight to you guys. We will be back here 4:30, same link tomorrow, where we're going to be expanding a little bit more into putting the business together, and then more focused on where we're going to get the clients, how we're going to communicate to the clients, what we're going to offer the clients, how we're going to actually do business and turn these ideas into reality for them. So see you all tomorrow, I hope. Lovely to see you again here. Have a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Thank you to everyone for being so supportive of this and supporting each other and helping each other. It really does make my day to see so many people here and helping and supporting. So good night, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time, 4:30. Take care.